Hello everyone. This class we are going to learn about IELTS, International English Language Testing System, Reading Model, Chapter 5, Reading Model. From this Unit 5, we are going to learn about reading tips, using the first paragraph to make predictions, using the topic sentence to make prediction, looking for a specific details, analyzing the questions and answers, identifying the task. Then learn closely. The reading model lasts 60 minutes. The reading passages and questions will be given to you on a question paper. You can write on the question paper, but you can't take it from the room. You will write your answers on the answer sheet. Unlike the listening model, you will have no time to transfer your answers. You will have only 60 minutes to read the passages, answer the questions, and mark your answers. The reading models and academic and the general training versions of IELTS are different. Reading model: academic reading, time 60 minutes, task read 3 passages and answers 40 questions. Topics: general interest topics written for a general audience. Sources: journals, magazines, books, newspapers. Reading model: general training reading, time 60 minutes, task read 3 passages and answer 40 questions. Topics: basic social English training topics, general interest. Sources: notice, flyers, timetables, documents, newspaper articles, instructions manuals. Then reading tips. Before you take the test, read as much you can in English. Keep a notebook of the words you learn. Try to write these words in a sentence. Try to put this sentence into a paragraph. Learn words in context, not from a word list. Know the types of questions found on the IELTS test. Know the type of information sought on the IELTS test. Know how to make predictions. Know how to skim and scan. To look quickly for information. During the test, read the title and any headings first. Make predictions about the topic. Look over the questions quickly. Make predictions about contact and organization. Read the passage at the normal speed. Don't get stuck on parts you don't understand. When you answer the questions, don't spend too much time on the ones you don't feel sure about. Make a guess and go on. After you have answered all the questions, you can go back and check the ones you are not sure about. Don't spend more than 20 minutes on each passage. Reading skill. Reading skills. In order to understand a reading passage, you need to understand the context of a passage. You need to have a clue about the topic. When you pick up a paper to read, you scan the headlines and choose an article that interests you. The clues in the newspaper headlines, graphics, photos catch your eye and give you a context. A passage on the IELTS is given to you. You didn't choose to read it. There are few clues. You don't know what it is about. It may or may not interest you. Yet, in order to understand it, you need some clues to help you understand the passage. Without the clues, you will not understand it very well. To score well on the IELTS, you should determine what you know and what you need to know. When you look at the passage, you must make some predictions about the passage. What is the passage about? What is the main idea? Who are the characters? When are things taking place? Where is it is happening? Why is important? using using the first paragraph to make predictions. The first paragraph often contains the topic sentence, a summary of main idea of the passage, a definition on the topic, the author's opinion, clues to the organization of the passage. If you understand the first paragraph, you will understand the topic, the author's opinion, and where to look for information within the passage. Read the first paragraph of the passage on the illness obsessive compulsive disorder. Obsessive compulsive disorder is clinically diagnosed as an anxiety disorder. This disorder affects up to the 4% of adults and children. People who suffer from this debilitating disorder have distressing and obsessive thoughts, which usually cause them to perform repetitive behavior, such as counting silently or washing their hands. Though OCD sufferers understand that they are obsessive or unrealistic, they found it stressful to put these instructive thoughts out of their minds. Those who suffer from obsessive compulsive disorder develop strict behavior patterns that become extremely time consuming and begin to interfere with the daily routines. Many people with OCD delay seeking treatment because they are ashamed of their own thoughts and behavior. Topic sentence: obsessive compulsive disorder is clinically diagnosed as an anxiety disorder. Definition of topic: people who suffer from this debilitating disorder have distressing and obsessive thoughts which usually cause them to perform repetitive behavior. Author's opinion none given. Then organization clues. The author may discuss obsessive behavior, stress of sufferers, and treatment. Read these introductory paragraphs to other passages. Make predictions about the topics using these first paragraphs. The spread of the wildfire is a natural phenomenon that occurs throughout the world and is especially common in forested areas of North America, Australia, and Europe. Locations that receive plenty of rainfall but also experience periods of intense heat or drought are particularly susceptible to wildfires. As the plant matter dries out, it becomes brittle and highly inflammable. In this way, many wildfires are seasonal, ignited by natural causes, most specifically lightning. However, the human carelessness and vandalism also account for thousands of wildfires around the globe each year. To gain a clear understanding of how wildfires spread, it is necessary to analyze what it takes to both create and control these fires. The term bird brain has long been a common means of expressing doubts about a person's intelligence. In reality, the birds may actually be a great deal more intelligent than humans have given them a great credit for. For a long time, scientists considered birds to be of a lesser intelligence because the cerebral cortex, the part of the brain that humans and all the other animals use for intelligence, is relatively small in size. Now, scientists understand that the birds actually use a different part of their brain, the hyperstadium for intelligence. Observations of different species of birds, both in the wild and in captivity, have shown a great deal of evidence of high levels of avian intelligence. In 1834, a little girl was born in New Bedford, Massachusetts. She would grow up to become one of the richest women in the world. Her name was Hetty Green, but she was known to many as the Witch of Wall Street, using the topic sentence to make predictions. Every paragraph has a key sentence called a topic sentence. The topic sentence explains what a paragraph is about. It is a general idea of the paragraph. If you understand the general idea, you can look for the specific details which support the idea. Read the second paragraph of the passage on OCD. The first sentence happens to the topic sentence. OCD suffers experience worries that are both unreasonable and excessive and that act as a constant source of internal stress. Fear of dirt and contamination are very common obsessive thoughts. The obsession with orderliness and symmetry is also common. In other cases, persistent thoughts are centered on doubts, such as whether or not a door is locked or a stove is turned off. Impulses, such as the urge to swear in public or to put a fire alarm, or other types of OCD symptoms. In order to diagnose with OCD, a sufferer must exhibit obsession and or compulsion that take up a considerable amount of the time. Looking for specific details. When you read, you first want to know the general idea. Next, you read for specific ideas. The author supplies specific details to support his or her ideas. Knowing where to look for these supporting statements will help you to answer questions on the IELTS. When you identified the topic sentences in practice 2, you found the general idea of the paragraph. When you asked your question about the topic sentence, you expected the specific details would be answered. So, read the second paragraph of the passage. Topic sentence: OCD suffers experience worries that are both unreasonable and excessive and that act as a constant source of internal stress. Question to ask yourself: what are unreasonable worries? What are excessive worries? Supporting details: fear of dirt and contamination, the obsessive with orderliness and symmetry, persistent doubts, impulses. Then, identifying the task. There are many types of questions on the IELTS reading test. It is important to know what the question is asking you to do. Question types: multiple choice question, short answer questions, completing sentences, completing notes, summary, tables, flowcharts, labeling a diagram, choosing a headings for paragraphs or a section of the text, choosing 3 or 4 answers from the list, yes or no, true or false or not given questions, classifying information, matching list or phrases, The question for the practice reading passages on the next page are labeled. Be familiar with the questions types so you can quickly complete the task and answer the question correctly. Classifying information. Classify the following facts as applying to Antarctic penguins, temperate area penguins. Antarctic penguins, temperate area penguins. Write the appropriate letter A or B in boxes 1 to 5 on your answer sheets. Stand in large groups to keep warm. Spend about 3/4 of its time in the water. Have feathers that keep cold water away from its skin. Have areas of skin without feathers. Have a less blue bear. Bloomberg. Completing sentences. Complete each of the following sentences with the information from the reading passage. Write your answer in the boxes. Most penguins use dash to build their nests. While the male emperor penguin takes care of the egg, the female goes away to dash. A dash is a piece of skin that the male emperor penguin uses to protect the egg. Penguins protect their feet from the cold of the ice by standing on their dash. So, the article mentioned above facts about penguins. Which four of the following feathers are things that enable them to survive in very cold water? They move through the water very quickly. They hold their flippers away from their bodies. They choose shady areas. When necessary, their blood moves away from the flippers and towards the heart. So this is a reading model. The unit of 5 IELTS reading skill, reading practice, reading model and the examples with illustration.